Around the world, scattered across deserts, mountains, and islands, lie remnants of civilizations long forgotten. Some are familiar, while others defy explanation. Today, we explore ancient sites that continue to puzzle archaeologists, historians, and scientists alike. Places where the ingenuity, ambition, and mystery of our ancestors still echo through stone. Our first stop is Göbekli Tepe, located in southeastern Turkey. Built around 9600 BCE, this site is considered the oldest known temple in the world, predating Stonehenge by nearly 6,000 years. The site consists of circular and oval-shaped stone enclosures, each filled with massive T-shaped pillars carved with detailed animal motifs, including snakes, foxes, boars, and birds. Some of these pillars weigh up to 20 tons. What is particularly astonishing is that the people who built Göbekli Tepe were hunter-gatherers, not yet farmers, making the scale of construction even more impressive. Archaeologists believe the site served as a ceremonial or religious center, but its exact purpose remains unknown. Klaus Schmidt, the archaeologist who excavated the site, described it as a monumental statement by people who had not yet settled into agriculture. How they quarried, transported, and erected these enormous stones without the wheel or metal tools is a question that still baffles experts. Some researchers suggest that the site may have also functioned as a gathering place for social or ritual events, helping to unite scattered hunter-gatherer groups. Göbekli Tepe challenges conventional narratives about the rise of civilization. It suggests that complex religious structures may have preceded agriculture rather than emerging afterward. The site forces us to reconsider the capabilities of early humans and the true origins of organized society. Next, we travel to the highlands of Bolivia, to Punku, a remarkable stone complex that forms part of the larger Tiwanaku site. Dating around 500 to 600 CE, Punku is famous for its precisely cut and fitted stones. Some blocks weigh more than 100 tons, yet they were placed with extraordinary accuracy, featuring perfectly straight edges, precise right angles, and complex interlocking grooves. The Tiwanaku civilization, which thrived around Lake Titicaca, was highly skilled, but even today, modern engineers struggle to replicate the precision of Punku's stonework. Scholars have noted that some of the stones appear to have been shaped with techniques that are difficult to reproduce even with contemporary tools. The exact purpose of Punku is still debated. It may have been a religious center, a ceremonial complex, or even an administrative hub. Some researchers suggest that the stones were quarried several kilometers away and transported using logs, ropes, and manpower. Others propose that the builders employed unknown techniques that have been lost to history. The mystery of Punku lies not only in its construction, but also in the questions it raises about the technological capabilities of pre-Columbian civilizations. Our next destination is Madol, located on the island of Pohnpei in modern-day Micronesia. Built between 1200 and 1600 CE, Madol consists of nearly 100 artificial islets, constructed from massive basalt columns, some weighing dozens of tons. The islets are connected by a network of canals, earning it the nickname the Venice of the Pacific. Madol served as the political and ceremonial center of the Saudelur dynasty. What makes Madol particularly mysterious is the method by which the stones were transported. There is no evidence that the builders used wheels or iron tools, yet they moved these massive columns from quarries several kilometers away. Some researchers propose that the stones were floated on rafts, while others suggest a combination of manpower and levers. Regardless of the method, the scale of construction is extraordinary. The layout of Madol, with its canals and organized islets, reflects a highly sophisticated urban plan. It is not merely a collection of buildings, but a carefully designed city, demonstrating an advanced understanding of architecture, logistics, and social organization. Despite centuries of study, many aspects of Madol remain unexplained, including the full extent of its population and the reasons for its eventual abandonment. In Lebanon, the temple complex of Baalbek rises from the Baikal Valley, often called the Temple of Giants. Although the Roman temples visible today date to the 1st century CE, the foundation stones are far older, with some weighing over 1,000 tons. The largest, known as the Stone of the Pregnant Woman, measures 19 meters long and is estimated to weigh around 1,000 tons. Baalbek's construction continues to puzzle historians. How did ancient engineers cut, transport, and position stones of such size with the technology available at the time? Some theories suggest the use of massive earthen rafts, rollers, and manpower, but even with these, the scale seems almost imaginable. The site may have been a center of worship for several civilizations, beginning with pre-Roman inhabitants who revered Baal, a Canaanite deity. The Romans expanded and enhanced the site, building monumental temples to Jupiter, Bacchus, and Venus. The alignment, scale, and craftsmanship of Baalbek indicate a level of sophistication that challenges assumptions about ancient engineering. Even today, Baalbek remains an awe-inspiring testament to human ambition and technical skill. Moving to South Africa, Great Zimbabwe stands as the largest stone structure built in sub-Saharan Africa before European colonization. Constructed between 1100 and 1400 CE, the city was the heart of a powerful kingdom that controlled trade routes across the continent. The walls, some reaching 11 meters high, were built entirely without mortar, with stones carefully stacked in interlocking patterns. For centuries, European colonizers refused to believe that African civilizations could produce such architecture. Archaeology, however, confirms that Great Zimbabwe was built by local Shona-speaking peoples. The site served as a royal palace, administrative center, and trading hub, with connections reaching as far as China and the Middle East, as evidenced by imported porcelain and beads. Great Zimbabwe is remarkable not only for its scale and technique, but also for its urban planning. Circular enclosures, towers, and pathways reflect an organized society with complex social hierarchies. The city was eventually abandoned, possibly due to environmental factors or political changes, leaving behind a silent but enduring testament to African ingenuity. Now we travel to Brittany in France, home to the Carnac stones. This megalithic complex, dating around 3000 BCE, consists of over 3,000 standing stones arranged in long rows stretching for kilometers. Some stones weigh up to 20 tons, yet the purpose of this monumental alignment remains uncertain. Researchers have proposed various theories. Some suggest astronomical functions, aligning with solstices or lunar cycles. Others propose ritual or territorial significance. Despite centuries of study, the methods used to transport and erect the stones, as well as their exact meaning, remain shrouded in mystery. The sheer scale of Karnak indicates an organized society capable of coordinating large-scale projects with significant social and religious motivations. Today, the Karnak stones stand as silent witnesses to Europe's prehistoric past,
offering a glimpse into the minds of people who lived thousands of years ago, leaving behind structures whose full significance continues to elude us.
Beneath the quiet streets of Malta lies one of the most haunting ancient sites in the world, the Hypogeum of Ħal-Saflieni. This underground complex, first uncovered by accident in 1902, is a three-level labyrinth carved entirely out of limestone over 5,000 years ago. That means it predates the Egyptian pyramids. The Hypogeum is not just a cave system. Every wall, every chamber, every passage was cut by hand with what should have been the most primitive of tools. Yet the precision is extraordinary. Smooth walls, carved lintels, perfectly aligned doorways. It looks less like a crude Neolithic monument and more like something planned by an architect with advanced knowledge of stonework. The site is thought to have been both a necropolis and a temple. The remains of over 7,000 individuals have been discovered there. But here's where things get stranger. Some early reports, which have since conveniently disappeared from museum archives, claim that unusual elongated skulls were found among the burials. The official line is that they were simply dolichocephalic human skulls, the result of natural variation or head binding. But in alternative history circles, they are seen as evidence of a different kind of people, possibly linked to legends of ancient giants or non-human beings. Then there's the oracle room, perhaps the most mysterious chamber of all. If you stand in the chamber and speak at certain frequencies, your voice resonates throughout the entire structure. Modern researchers found that this resonance vibrates specifically at 111 Hz, a frequency that neuroscientists say can actually affect the human brain, inducing trance-like states. Were the builders using sound to alter consciousness? Could priests have stood in that chamber, their voices amplified, literally shaking the minds of those who listened? No one knows how such a structure was created with Neolithic technology, or why its builders invested so much effort underground when megalithic temples already stood above ground on Malta. Some speculate that the Hypogeum may have been a kind of initiation chamber, a place where rituals of life, death, and altered states of mind were performed. Others suggested could have been a survival bunker or even an ancient data vault designed to preserve knowledge through cataclysm. Whatever its purpose, the Hypogeum leaves us with one chilling question. Who exactly were its builders, and where did they get the knowledge to create such a site so far ahead of its time? Off the southern coast of Japan, beneath the waters of Yonaguni Island, divers discovered something in the 1980s that still sparks fierce debate today. Known as the Yonaguni Monument, it's a massive stone formation with what appear to be platforms, staircases, terraces, and even what looks like a stepped pyramid. Mainstream geologists argue that this is simply a natural rock formation shaped by currents and erosion. But when you look closely, the straight angles, sharp corners, and flat surfaces don't quite match the chaos of natural geology. Some divers claim to have seen carved animal figures and even a humanoid face etched into the stone. If Yonaguni is natural, it's a geological oddity. But if it's man-made, then it could rewrite history. The last time this area was above sea level was over 10,000 years ago during the last ice age. That means humans, or some forgotten civilization, built a complex city long before the rise of Egypt, Mesopotamia, or Sumer. Alternative historians often link Yonaguni to the legend of Mu, a lost Pacific continent, like Atlantis, said to have sunk beneath the waves. Could Yonaguni be the last remnant of this mystical land? Even Japanese officials remain divided. Some archaeologists quietly admit that parts of the monument look too precise to be natural, while others dismiss the idea entirely. But here's the problem. If it is artificial, that means there was a civilization in Japan 10,000 years ago, capable of quarrying, cutting, and arranging massive blocks of stone, and history has left no trace of them. Was Yonaguni the heart of a prehistoric culture, wiped out by rising seas at the end of the Ice Age? Or is it a trick of nature that just happens to mimic human design? Either way, the site fuels imagination about what might still lie hidden beneath the oceans, waiting to be rediscovered. In 1992, a farmer in Zhejiang Province, China, drained a pond and uncovered one of the greatest mysteries of archaeology, the Longbu Caves. What he found wasn't a natural cavern, but a vast man-made chamber carved out of solid sandstone. Soon, 24 more were discovered, each one a massive, carefully engineered underground space. The caves are mind-boggling in their scale. Some ceilings reach nearly 100 feet high. Massive stone pillars support the weight of the rock above. And here's the strangest part. The walls and ceilings are covered in perfectly straight, parallel chisel marks, like some kind of signature left by the builders. The consistency suggests that they were not just cutting rock, but deliberately leaving behind a coded pattern, almost like an ancient machine texture. What baffles archaeologists most is the absence of records. China has one of the most detailed and continuous historical traditions in the world, yet there is not a single text describing who built the Longbu Caves or why. Not one. The sheer labor required is staggering. Each cave would have required removing thousands of cubic meters of stone. In total, millions of tons. Where did all the rock go? No debris piles, no nearby quarries, no traces anywhere. It's as if the material was spirited away. Some theories suggest the caves were underground storage for grain or water. Others propose they were military hideouts. But the design seems far too elaborate and ceremonial for mere practicality. In fact, some alternative researchers see the Longbu Caves as evidence of a lost advanced culture, perhaps one that predated the dynastic Chinese, or even one connected to global megalithic traditions. What's more, the caves have stood for thousands of years without collapsing, a feat of engineering even modern architects would struggle to match without steel reinforcement. How could an ancient civilization with supposed primitive tools accomplish this? Perhaps the greatest mystery is why such monumental works were abandoned and erased from history. Were the Longbu Caves sacred spaces? Astronomical observatories? Or could they have been part of some forgotten technology, lost in the mists of time? Standing inside one, surrounded by the silence and the strange carved patterns, you can't help but feel the presence of something ancient, something we were never meant to forget, but somehow did.
Beneath the rocky hills of Cappadocia, Turkey, lies a labyrinth that has puzzled archaeologists for decades, Derinkuyu Underground City. Stretching as deep as 18 stories below the surface, this underground metropolis could have housed over 20,000 people, complete with living quarters, kitchens, stables, wells, veneration shafts, and even schools. On the surface, Cappadocia looks like ordinary volcanic terrain, but beneath, an entire civilization carved in a elaborate network of tunnels and chambers. The precision is astounding. Circular stone doors could be rolled into place to seal entire levels. Ventilation shafts carried fresh air to the deepest floors, and water wells were designed to provide life even during long sieges. Mainstream historians date Derinkuyu's construction to the Byzantine period, around the 7th century CE, to protect local populations from invading armies. But there's a problem. Some sections of the tunnels and chambers appear far older. The design, scale, and sheer labor involved suggest planning that spans multiple civilizations, perhaps even predating recorded history. Consider the logistics. Even with thousands of workers, carving millions of tons of rock by hand would take decades. How did they coordinate such a feat without leaving records? Where did the removed rock go? Modern archaeologists still can't find the debris piles or quarries that would account for all the excavated stone. Alternative history researchers ask bigger questions. Was Derinkuyu built simply as a refuge from human invaders, or were its designers preparing for something far larger? Some suggest it may have been a catastrophe shelter, designed to protect people from floods, fire, or even celestial events, a plan passed down from a lost advanced civilization that survived earlier cataclysms. The myths of the region add another layer of intrigue. Locals speak out underground tunnels stretching for hundreds of miles, connecting Derinkuyu to other cities like Kaimakli, forming a hidden network beneath Cappadocia. Some legends describe these tunnels as the paths of gods or giants, built to remain secret from humanity. Even today, exploring Derinkuyu feels like stepping into another world. Walking through the narrow passageways, seeing the massive stone doors, imagining families, livestock, and entire communities thriving underground, it's impossible not to wonder, how advanced were the people who first carved this city? And what did they know that we have forgotten? Some alternative theorists suggest Derinkuyu may have been a survival archive, a hidden storehouse of knowledge, culture, or even technology. Perhaps it was part of a global network of ancient underground refuges, structures built to endure the disasters that erased previous civilizations from history. The city is still partially unexplored. Many tunnels remain sealed or inaccessible. Every tunnel sparks new questions. Who were the first builders? How did they achieve such precision and scale? And most haunting of all, why would an entire civilization go to such length to hide beneath the earth? Standing in Derinkuyu, you can't help but feel the weight of lost knowledge pressing down from above. A civilization that vanished, leaving only its tunnels as a whisper of human ingenuity far beyond what history has remembered.